What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to more creepy TikToks. Let's see what kind of craziness is going on in the world today. But before we do, smash that like button and subscribe button, and let's dive in. Are they saying we've captured our children that we have not tried, or am I mishearing that? And also, their symbolism on their t-shirts, I'm quite curious to the meaning behind that. It could just be a bird that got a lucky strike, but at the same time, given what the way things have been the past few years, I wouldn't be surprised if it was an alien or, something demonic in nature.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
People like ourselves try and warn the sleepers about what they're trying to do to our food and our produce and how it's affecting us, but the sleepers just look at us as if to say, we're the ones that need educated.
So just to clarify a couple things in regards to the Kurt Cobain, Courtney situation. Basically, his autopsy report was leaked online 2 weeks ago, which has sparked all this back up. So Ian Halperin, who has not only made a documentary, but written a book in regards to Kurt Cobain's death, has talked about how he had 70 times the lethal dose of heroin in his system the time he died, and that it's impossible that he could have himself. He has been asking Courtney to take a polygraph, and recently even said that if she takes the polygraph and passes, he will even pay for a billboard in Times Square declaring her innocence to the world. And a music executive has even offered to give her $50,000 cash if she passes said polygraph. I personally don't think she'll do it. But we don't need a polygraph. I think we all know how we feel about this.
There's no way you can pull the trigger twice at your own head. It's just not possible. The note that he left was completely different in terms of handwriting compared to the rest of his writing. She was in the band herself and she seen his popularity and she didn't like it. She got jealous, and it's as simple as that. That first clip was creepy. I mean, I can see that mask being inside like Biden's drawer or something in his office, but it also shows us that you don't need to be cloning. A mask to the right person is like the perfect fitting.
Katy Perry, who is a singer, and her husband, I believe his name is Orlando Bloom, bought the Bragg's apple cider vinegar company, and they have teamed up with Bill Gates and now are using his A-pill apples. Let me sort of educate the audience a little bit about what A-pill is. A-P-E-E-L. It uses monosaccharides and disaccharides, which are byproducts of all oil processing, the byproducts of things like soybean oil, canola oil, which are very harmful to the body. And these byproducts are trans fats. This is really important. They're trans fats. Trans fats in most countries, all of Europe, are banned. And the reason why they're banned is because they cause coronary heart disease.
As always, guys, be sure to do your own research with most of the clips that you find in the show. But in terms of the company itself, the company's called Appeal, and it was founded through a grant that was given to them by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for 100 grand. So make of that as you will.
People who turn themselves into animals. Eva Tiamat wanted to look like a dragon, and now looks like this. Toko-sen wanted to look like a dog, and now looks like this. Toru Ueda wanted to look like a wolf, and now looks like this. Jocelyn Wildenstein wanted to look like a cat, and now looks like this. Dennis Avner wanted to look like a tiger, and now looks like this. Ted Richards wanted to look like a parrot, and now looks like this.
How does the dog and the wolf shower? Just out of curiosity, really. But my question here is, why do people feel that they need to change themselves to that extreme? To me, I don't know if it's like mental illness or if it's, something like demonic, or they're possessed by something, or like, if society gets to them. But it baffles me sometimes why people go to the extreme to look so different.
I heard about shrinkflation, right? You see how small these are? See how they made the packaging so small? In Denmark, mayonnaise is about $3. It's extremely expensive. Because this neighborhood, yeah, it's a Great British pound. Look at how small the toilet papers are. That's the size of a regular human hand. This is so crazy. That's a 4-pack of toilet paper. Bro, it's like you blow your nose. Look at how small that is. But it's probably only $6.99. There's not even a price. Family Dollar. We're in America. This is Manhattan, Upper East Side of Manhattan. You guys ever get the Nature Valley for $8.29? Pop-Tarts. Is this what Pop-Tarts cost these days out in the country? In the rest of America? Yeah, the package is so tiny. Life cereal, it's on sale for $6.39. So, that's cheap. That's pretty good, right? Oh my lord.
You guys in the US are getting ripped off. Hi, no harm to you. I mean, for a Pop-Tart over here, we're paying like $1.44, maybe $1.54, for Bogro, like £2. But in terms of the, shrinkflation, it's definitely happening. We did say after all that a quarter of weight will cost a denarius. I mean, how much is a denarius in today's money, I actually went ahead and checked it up, and for one denarius is equivalent to like 43.50, so $43.50 in today's money. So we're getting there, like.
Do you think there will be another revolution that affects the world as much as the agricultural revolution did?
Yeah, we are living in the midst of one, and this is the AI revolution. In the agricultural revolution, what happened is that humans learned to control other animals and plants. And now we are creating something, AI, that might control us in the same way that we previously controlled the cows.
Notice how he's saying that they are creating an AI to control the people. Like, he's pretty much said it out exactly what their plans are.
Several of us, myself included, felt that we were going to deal with a problem that was going to mushroom and have major implications just on what we knew about the level and the prevalence of sexually transmitted diseases in the male homosexual population, the level of hepatitis B in the IV drug abusers, that once you introduce an infection into a population that has very active sexual interactions, you are going to see a rampant spread. We knew it. It was only a very, very small amount there at the time, but it happened. You saw that extraordinary mushroom.
We know what he did in the 80s, and we know what he did in the 2020s. If there was ever a terrorist, we know who to point the fingers at, but yet now we're the ones who are the terrorists.
Do not put your cell phone or a tablet or anything up to your head. In the fine print of every cellular phone, they tell you not to do it. Mm-hmm. Do you know that? Mm-hmm. Do they announce that?
Absolutely
no, because they don't give a shit, right? Don't put it up to your damn head. Women, don't put it in your sports bra ever. Guys, don't put it in your pocket when it's on. Put it at the least put on airplane mode. Just minimize stress. That's all it is. Think of it in terms of that. It's stress. It's all over the research. But there's a million people that say, this stuff is not bad for us. It's non-ionizing. And we haven't looked, man. And it doesn't matter. Proximity and duration are showing these stress responses. Look at the data.
Out of curiosity here, but how many of you guys still do this today? And I used to do it myself all the time. You know, at night time, you'd have your charger in your phone connected to your headphones, and your phone beside your head, and you would listen to like Spotify or YouTube for the rest of the night. You know, like how many of you guys still do this?
What you are seeing here is a real alien specimen, filmed more than 10 years ago. It looks like a miniature person. The examiner was preparing the specimen for an autopsy.
Poor lad, but you can tell he had a few drinks last night. He's probably passed out from last night's session, and he's probably going to have some head when he wakes up too.
Y'all wondering how I found those pictures? I did some deep searching for food products. And I ran across those pictures. And I'm like, dang.
You know, for us we call that Satanism, but for celebrities they call that soul searching, because they sold their soul to the devil a long time ago, and they've been searching for it back ever since.
Oh shit, man. Y'all look at this. I don't see it all, man. Y'all watch y'all damn children, man. This world is getting crazy, man. Face swapping. They taking little kids' faces and throwing it on grown-up ass faces, man. Motherfucker, you can't... How the fuck is this even possible, bro? Like, look at this. That motherfucker don't know when you're happy, mad, sad. But what makes this crazy that y'all actually doing this, man? You look at this lady face down here at the bottom, man. Look at her. You don't put on another kid face. How did you get this kid face is my fucking question. Y'all comment below, because this shit is kind of disturbing when you really think about this shit. Who fuck faces you taking? Y'all motherfuckers, and you know those organs don't. You gotta watch your organs around here. Now I gotta watch my damn face? Man, this motherfucker weird, bro. Like, come on, bro. The goddamn doctor need to be arrested, man. Come on, man. How much some shit like this cost, man? Y'all comment below, because at the end of the day, man, who's giving up their beautiful face to put up on you?
I wouldn't call that face swapping, to be honest with you, and I think he's just freaking out over nothing. I mean, if anything, a surgeon just pulled back the face, you know, like a bully who would wedgie a nerd in the schoolyard, you know, that kind of wedge, you know.
We all need to understand that cancer is not even an illness. Cancer is a symptom. And a tumor, for example, is nothing else than the approach of the body to keep us alive. We have so many toxins in our system that would kill us. So the body builds a bubble, a bucket, a tumor, and collects all these poisons and basically keeps the poisons on one spot where they don't do harm. That's a tumor. So the cancer is basically your friend. The tumor is working on keeping you alive. So that's why it's so dangerous if anybody comes with a needle biopsy, for example, and pinches into this tumor and releases the toxins into the system. And all of a sudden they find you have a very fast growing, very aggressive cancer that you didn't have before the needle biopsy. The same problem occurs with mammography. If somebody has a lymph node, for example, our lymph nodes are basically, just to simplify it, our physical immune system. They collect all the poisons, dilutes them, and basically help us to get rid of all these toxins. So if a lymph node is really full with toxins, and we have 4 times more lymph liquid than blood, so there's a lot of toxins, a lot of lymph liquid to work through. If a lymph node really works really well and collects all these toxins, and sometimes there's just too much in it, it gets inflamed, so it takes a while longer to get rid of these toxins, to neutralize these toxins. So when you have a mammography, they put 50 pounds of pressure on the most gland-landed tissue in the female body, the breast. If this lymph node is now looking like a pimple that's ready to burst, and you put 50 pounds of pressure on that, that cannot be a good thing. Usually it bursts, and that's what causes cancer. So it's not like just statistically every mammography raises the cancer risk 2%, but it's also mammographies can cause cancer just by the pressure that's applied.
I like how he explains the hypothesis, and it does make sense the more you listen to him. And when you think about, people who are just recently diagnosed, and then all of a sudden, like, they've got these, symptoms left, right, and center that's ever increasing, it does kind of correlate to what he's saying. But that's the thing, it's a hypothesis, so it's not necessarily true,
This is sketchy as fuck, and I need everybody to share this immediately. This is the man that literally wrote the TikTok ban bill. Look what this man has been recently investing in. Meta Platforms, Inc. You know this motherfucker right here? But that's not it, okay? Look at this, JP Morgan, Vanguard. How ironic is that? I mean, there's a huge list of sketchy-ass corporations right here. But my boy, where are you getting all that money from? I'll show you guys where he's getting all that money and where every single other politician is getting that money from as well. But before I do, it looks like he's been investing for quite a while, right? Ever since March 1st. Sure, it's not ironic to see articles like this saying that everything's coming up for Zuck once again, right? Saying that he will very likely end up the ultimate winner in the most recent push to force a sell or ban of Chinese-owned TikTok. We do know that 60% of global investors literally own TikTok. Or that 3 board members on TikTok's board are literally Americans. Come on, people. This is Mike Gallagher, right? The Republican representative that originally sponsored the original TikTok ban bill that wasn't passed through the Senate, right? Mike Gallagher's last election, this was his top contributor. You tell me who's really in control, especially after seeing things like this. Hold on. This is Mike Johnson, right? Another Republican representative that yesterday said that everybody was protesting in support of, in quotations, terrorists. When these were his top industries that have been supporting him from 2023 to 2024, with who being in 4th place? Oh, Mike Johnson, how'd you get that much money? In Mike Johnson's last election, this was his top contributor. So you tell me who's really in control. But if you can't yet, this is a list of U.S. senators from 1990 to 2024 that have received money from who? With who being in 1st place, which, by the way, after everything was finalized, this amount just so happened to coincidentally go up to above $6 million. Where'd you get that extra 300 grand, Biden? But this goes both ways, people. There is 2 sides to the same coin. And there has been for quite some time. As you can see, Mitch McConnell, Republican. Charles Schumer, Democrat. John McCain, Republican. Ted Cruz, Republican. Ron Wyden, Democrat. Carl Levin, Democrat. The list goes on, people, including for your U.S. House of Representatives and your U.S. Senators. And I'm sure shit like this just doesn't top it off, right? A handful of pro-Israel groups fund political campaigns in support of individual candidates in U.S. elections, led by the WHO, supposedly a powerful voice in American politics. And before the 2024 election, WHO plans to spend tens of millions of dollars against congressional candidates, primarily Democrats whom it deems insufficiently supportive of Israel. WHO and other pro-Israel lobby groups have recruited and supported challengers to a number of lawmakers and candidates, most notably members of the Squad, the group of progressive representatives who are particularly vocal in their criticism of Israel's offensive and
It's no secret that politicians have been in corporations' back pockets for decades now, but in terms of you guys in America, when it comes to the TikTok ban, if it does come into effect, are you guys not able to watch TikTok at all? I mean, not even through VPN?
Ariana Grande is a witch, and she admitted it multiple different times in her most recent interview.
You are a witch?
I am indeed. The witchiest witch. Somewhere between being a literal witch, I'm not kidding.
Can you do a tarot card reading for me?
Oh my God, I wish I brought them. It was the witchiest thing.
Keep
Wait,
going.
there was something really witchy.
You can tell that she's trying to play it all off as if it's a bit of crack, but we all know she's a witch.
So, you got guys who I don't think are gay, but they painting their nails or they walking with Birkin bags, It feels like it's been a new trend, a new swag, a new style. Paint your nails, use a bag, wear a dress, this, right? My man's on Rico. Young Thug was wearing the skirts and this and that. These are the tough. So it's safe to say it's a fad, it's a trend, and guys are like, yo, I'm gonna get more, I'm gonna go viral. I'm gonna sell more. The LGBT really supports you, so we gotta act like that.
Over the past year and a half, 2 years, I've noticed a push from big corporations, businesses, and even on TV, like celebrities, for example, in this clip, you know, to try and normalize the whole ABC agenda. And I've come to the conclusion that the reason why their colours are so vibrant is because they want to try and attract and lure in the young ones. And, you know, once they get older, you know, it becomes a lot more easier then to indoctrinate the next generation.
The president, I noticed, had note cards at the border when he was doing his briefing there. He also had note cards last Friday with the Italian prime minister. Why does the president rely so heavily on note cards?
You're upset because the president has note cards? You're asking me a question about the president having note cards?
I'm asking why.
The president, who is probably one of the most stupid, weak-minded, half-witted, idiotic, and brain-dead of any modern-day president. He's so dumb he stares at the orange juice container because it says concentrate. You're asking me about note cards? Wait, I'm not speaking to you right now, James. I'm talking to your friend over here, Ed. So thank you so much. But thank you so much for interjecting. Get it.
I was just asking why he relies so heavily on note cards.
I think what's important here is to forget about how old and feeble Joe is and to understand that Obama is not making out the note cards. And that's what's the most important thing here.
You've got to love it, like, you've got to love it. Here's a weird conspiracy for you. What if the day that you were born there was a tissue example taken from you and it was sent to some secret underground lab, and from that secret lab they were able to, you know, create 3 identical versions of you, and they sent those 3 versions out to different parts of the world to do evil, and that's why everyone says you always have a lookalike.
I look forward to our new partnership with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, collaborating not just to end polio, but to ensure a safe and healthy Hajj pilgrimage, to build new capacity, to better respond to urgent humanitarian crises, and fortify the world against future pandemics.
On a final note, it is my pleasure, with great excitement, to announce our partnership with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. We will shortly sign a memo of understanding between the Ministry of Health and the Foundation that signify strategic collaboration between both entities. Thank you.
There was massive profits to be made whenever the first 3 Stingers came out, so just imagine how much more they'll make through this.
Have you ever wondered? In 100 years, in 2124, we will all be buried with our relatives and friends. Strangers will live in our homes, which we fought so hard to build, and they will own everything we have today. All our properties will be unknown, which have not yet been born, including that car you spent a fortune on. It will probably be scrapped. I guess it will be in the hands of an unknown collector. Our descendants will hardly know who we were, nor will they remember us. How many of us know our grandfather's father? After our death, we will be remembered for a few years. Then, we will only be a portrait on someone's library. And a few years later, our history, our photos, our deeds go into the dustbin of oblivion. History. We won't even be memories. Maybe if one day we stopped to analyze these questions, we would understand how ignorant and weak the dream of obtaining everything was. If only we could think, certainly our approaches, our thoughts would change. We would be other people, always having more and more, without having time for the things that are really worthwhile in this life. I'd change all that to live and enjoy those walks I've never taken, those ungiven hugs, those kisses to our children and our loves, those pranks we never had time for. Those would definitely be the best moments to remember. Basically, they would fill our lives with joy. And that is what we waste, with greed, intolerance day after day. There is still time for us. Think about it.
There's one thing that we can all agree on, and that's how quick time flies and how busy life can get sometimes as well, to the point where we focus our attention on other things and not the important things. That's it for today, guys, and if you enjoyed the compilation, smash that like button and subscribe button, and tick the notification bell as well for the next video. But until then, look after yourselves, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you then.
What's the matter?
I've been getting death threats.
You mean death threats?
Not this time.
Again, you are done me. You are done me. I went along. Gone.